Okay, guys, this is editing Mia, and I know I just made a video talking about Florida being hit by the tropical storm, the tropical depression Helene. So I pronounced so many incorrect information. It's actually being hit by a tropical storm, a tropical depression, tropical cyclone. It is hit more than just Florida, hit mainly the southeast area of the United States. So forgive me, just want to throw that in there. Forgive me if my error. Prayers go out to the southeast area and any other area that's going to be hit. Hi everyone, it's me and Nicole, and welcome back to Faith's Butterfly Blog. I know I always use my disclaimer at the beginning of my videos, but I decided that I am going to just, push that disclaimer aside. You already know what the deal is. I'm not going to say anything, anything that is too revealing. I'm going to be careful to watch my words, and this is just basically my experiences work as in my journey as working as a child care teacher and provider. So I'm not going to be revealing any extra information that is needed in regards to other people that I'm involved in working. I might throw in some little nicknames, but I'm not going to reveal actual names of anyone that I work with. So let us begin. So this week, as you probably could tell, if you're living around my side of the country, I'm going to reveal my state. I have no problem revealing it. It's going to be Ohio. You probably have experienced the storm that's going on right now. Well, it's a light storm, but it's not as big as the one that's going on in Florida. And so prayers go out to people living in around that area that's being hit by that huge storm. I think it's Helen. I don't know if it's tropical or hurricane, but I know it's Helen. So prayers are going out to all the people and praying that they are staying safe and that the city or areas aren't being hit super hard to the point that people are not being able to stay. So prayers go out to them, hope that they're there and praying for their safety. So back over to my side of the country. So it's been an entire week was just basically just dealing with rain. Not raining itself, but usually the remnants of rain, which means a wet playground. Playground wasn't wet to the point that kids could slip, but it was definitely the slides that were wet, and kids love to go down slides, and that's basically what has happened a couple times. We had children who go down wet slides, covered in water, and having to go back into class in order to change clothing and either come back out or had to stay out. It was just, there were times that if kids did listen, was able to stay away from the slide, but then of course it would be that one that I don't look at, and I turn around, they're going down from the top of the slide, and they go down, they're going through White Rapids. But, it was just a little minor thing. It was just something that kind of was a recurring theme throughout the week, that it wasn't raining, but it was gray, and, things were wet. And it wasn't until this day, Friday, that, the rain actually came down and that we had to stay in. But I'm jumping a little bit ahead of myself. I wanted to go and do a quick rundown of a couple of big events that happened throughout the week. Well, once again, I mixed up an employee day. We were supposed to be doing fall fashions, wearing fall colors. I decided to wear my alumni shirt to school, but school is part of fall. The shirt was navy. Navy is a color that people wear during the fall, so I don't think I missed the mark too much. But it just goes to show that, I need to take the time to double, triple read whenever there's a big bulletin of something fun that's going to be going on with fellow employees. Also, there was a lot of moving around with maintaining the ratio. I think I mentioned the ratio a couple times. In the state of Ohio, a teacher could have up to, depending on the group, I think it's more for younger children, which I'm working for. Which I'm, look after. The number is either 6 to 7 kids, mainly 7 kids, but it has to be mandatory 6 if there is a child that's under the age of 18 months. So it was just a lot of teachers who were also moving around, working with classes of kids they probably are not familiar with. And I just want to point out, I know a lot of times I've mentioned about how I really prefer working with younger children over older children due to my naivete. But I just want to say, I'm not saying it as a complaint. I'm just saying it from my experience for so far in the last few weeks, working within the school, school daycare. I'd like to say the school basically, and it's just to show that it's not that I don't want to work with older children. It's just that from the experience of with my class that I have for most of the day, and then the kids later on in the afternoon, like it's just a different type of energy. Then I guess I'll become more accustomed to it, like the as the weeks goes on, as more weeks that work goes on, and I'd be able to maybe be in over a classroom with older kids. But just so far, I just do really enjoy my little group and a group of little young ones. And but I have no problem working with older kids. It was just a little funny tidbit I like to throw in sometimes. Also, here's a big thing that happened this week. I got a brand new child. So I'm not going to reveal any personal information, but I just want to say that um, you know, they like other people kind of know, like they are connected with a child in my class. So even though I haven't personally met them, like they actually have already have some child that already knows them, which is good because this is their first daycare. So, this was something that it was not only a new experience for me, but it was a brand new experience for them. And so, he kind of started off a little bit upset, which is understandable. Whenever we experience something very new, we can be a little bit nervous and kind of cautious or anxious about, what we're getting into. But I think that as he becomes more adjusted and able to be more adjusted into the classroom and get more familiar with the environment and along with all the other children, I think that he's going to do really fine. And I really hope that I'd be able to connect with him as well as all the other kids in my class as well. And I know it's getting kind of like a trailing off a little bit, but I just think I always love it whenever there's like something new for me to do or something new happening, during my doing this, me becoming a beginning teacher. And it just love any chance that I'd be able to grow and develop in some way, shape, or form. I think it's mentioned that working, as a child care teacher is kind of like playing a cozy game that you just unlock little things as you learn or little things as you continue on. That's just how it feels. Like it's just this good, nice feeling, even with all the challenging things and all the new challenges you have to solve. It just feels worth it. It feels fulfilling. So that was something that's really huge, something that's very big. And also another thing that I want to point out that's really silly is that the shoes, basically shoes. I mentioned it before. I know you see my little funny video about how much I love Crocs. That I had no problem with Crocs, but as the weather is getting colder, especially over in the upper northeast area, the country where I am, kids are going to start wearing shoes with laces and maybe not as much stretchiness to them. Oh goodness, what's going to happen when they get boots? I wonder if kids are going to have as much each removing boots as they do with their sneakers. And that's going to be something I'm going to have to learn when that happens. So with that, I think I'm going to end the video a little bit early and end it with how my day was for Friday. So as I mentioned, it kind of rained it rained the night before, and then the playground would be a little bit wet. It might dry as the day goes on, or maybe be dry all day, but so we always have like these clouds, sun trying to peek in, but still be pretty cloudy. Can't really see the planes fly over. And now Friday is when it finally hits. It is the day that the rain starts with little trickles, and then it begins to pour and pour and pour. Like even during the nap, when I was over nap time, there was a moment that I actually heard the wind whistling. Like I was like, what is that sound? I thought it was just the music app, but nope. The wind is blowing hard enough that it's whistling. Like when I got my kids for snack time, we looked at the window, it's covered in rain. The trees and like the big, some of the things that is in the playground that has like shade, that was rocking with the wind. It was that windy. Like, yeah. And of course, it would be a kid. I have like one or two kids be like, I want to go outside. And I was like, no, we can't go outside. It's pouring rain. He's like, but I want to. It's like, well, you can't. You can't. I'm sorry. You don't have a choice. You can't go out there. And if it rained like that, you could get sick. But, it was still a pretty easygoing week. Of course, I mentioned about challenges, moving classes moving around. There was a lot of times that my class needed to be picked up had to be picked up a little bit more. Like I need, as in terms of like keeping things organized. But I think it also because of the new student, it had it was something that's unfamiliar not only to that student but for my class. And when something that messes up a routine, it can be kind of not messes up a routine. When something is new add to routine, it can throw it off. And I think that's what kind of contributed a little bit to that. But I think that, as I mentioned before, as he become more adjusted into my class, he would be able to understand routine along with the rest of the class. And we would all be able to work together and, and still continue to have fun and learn and grow. So that's my video. I said I was going to end early, but I add more. So that's my video. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for following. Be sure to follow all my social media. I'm going to put my link tree in the description of this video. And I hope you guys have a very blessed and wonderful day. As a matter of fact, have a very blessed and wonderful week. And once again, my prayers goes out to to all of the areas that's being hit by this storm right now. So thank you guys so much. I hope you have a good rest of your week, and I'll see you next week. Oh, and follow me on social media. Linktree, description. Bye.